According to a survey released this week by Consumer Reports, the word natural on food products actually means nothing. Literally nothing, that's right. So we've got some findings from the study. So 2/3 of Americans think that the word natural on the label of a packaged or processed food means that it contains no artificial ingredients, pesticides, or genetically engineered organisms. That is simply not true. When consumers see the word on meat or poultry, 70% think it means no growth hormones were used to get the animal in the animal's feed, and 60% think the animal's got no antibiotics or other drugs in their feed. That is also not true. Both the FDA and the US Department of Agriculture allow food producers to use the word natural on labels as long as nothing artificial or synthetic has been added that would not normally be expected in the food under an informal policy the FDA put into place back in 1993. And the argument's been made that the prohibition of the word natural would restrict free speech. So we do a lot of stuff on this show about natural foods and GMOs and all the crazy additives and the sugars and high fructose corn syrup and all that. Jaclyn, I'm gonna let you start here as someone with a little science behind you. We love words, right? We just love words. You throw natural on it, people think nature.
I mean, it says right there that it's just what you wouldn't already expect to be in the food. So if something unnatural is being added to your food, but it's something that they normally add, they're allowed to use the word natural and put that label on the food. And people, I'm sorry, but like, I do honestly think that they have the right to do that. People being gullible is not their fault. I mean, people exploit that type of thing all the time. Politicians do it, and marketers do it. So it's kind of up to the consumer to do a little bit of work and a little bit of research to figure out what is in their food and what is healthy and what's not. And the whole anti-GMO thing too, people get excited. They see non-GMO on a food and they'll buy it. I've seen non-GMO on salt. I mean, that's an inorganic compound. Like, there's no G to M because it's not an O. Right. So I don't understand. Like, people just, they see words that are pretty and they think that they're doing something good by going after that food. But,
right.
I mean,
so you're kind of giving the FDA a little leash here to fiddle around because you want it to ultimately come back to the people, and you have to make it.
I think it's manipulative, and I wish that it wouldn't happen. But I mean, that's the world that we live in. And as far as like the money is concerned, you have to follow the money. If this is going to make corporations more money, no one's going to stop them.
Yeah. So I'm sort of with you because I believe in the personal responsibility thing. But if this many people are getting duped, perhaps the FDA needs to do something more transparent
to raise the standards. I heard you tell me if this is correct or not. I heard that apparently there's a certain like percentage of insects that are allowed in peanut butter. It's like a 0.5 situation, just simply because of the quantity of mass production, that you have to allow that just margin of toxicity in your food.
Well, there's a certain amount of bone that's allowed to be in the McDonald's meat
and stuff because of just the volume, and so they have to permit that. But what I am shocked by is just how low the bar has been set, whereas like all natural is not, they're like, oh, this doesn't have formaldehyde and rat poison, so yes, it's all natural. It's about, instead of all natural being about what it is, it's now about what it's not. They're like, oh, well, it doesn't have tar in it, so all natural.
Right. Do you think, so if they changed it to be a little more honest, wouldn't the food companies just figure out other ways of manipulating people?
Yeah, and they do. I mean, that's not the only thing I've seen, as far as manipulation goes. I mean, I've seen people, who are concerned with animal rights give no mind to factory farming, because instead of factory farming, they say farm fresh. And technically it's a farm.
It's a farm.
So they can say farm fresh and no one bats an eye at that. I mean, it's no secret that 50% of the antibiotics that are being used go into the food that you're consuming. And instead of marketing like that, they'll say, due to advanced farming techniques, we've taken advanced veterinary measures, and people see that and they're like, oh, that sounds great.
Right.
But they have no idea that it's saying we're pumping your food full of antibiotics.
Right. So is that part of it that, especially in America, because a lot of the stuff that we allow in our food in America is not allowed in Europe, is it part of it that we just love stamps on things? We love like a logo that says just some catchphrase, or authorized by or certified by, and we don't do any of the work to, when you go shopping, do you look for those things even if you're not even sure what they mean? just a stamp on the thing that says.
It depends on what it is. I feel like I was raised to eat pretty healthy, and so I look for brown eggs. I look for, there's certain things that I do look at, but I feel like 90% of the grocery store contains all of these chemicals that this Smartie is quoting. I don't remember, but how can you avoid it? I try to shop around the outside perimeter, get the fresh veggies and lettuce and what have you. To answer your question though, I do believe that America is addicted to brands and labels for sure. We're all, it's all about status. It's all about, I honestly, I think the whole vegan gluten-free movement really pushed that kind of obsession when it comes to one's own diet. Show up at a restaurant, I am gluten-free, and to just declare that to the restaurant so that everyone knows.
Yeah. Which actually, now there's been studies saying that most people, unless you have celiac disease, there's basically no such thing as being gluten intolerant. Well, I'm sure there'll be another study that'll reverse that next week. Anyway, so just be kind of a little more aware of what you're putting in your body, because this packaging clearly isn't telling you the truth.